y'all, this is Marley K. Hope y'all are well. Got a Beast Watch update. The infrastructure is moving right along as planned. And I have a couple of stories that I want to share with you about the G20 actually, coming up with a plan to have a global digital infrastructure for this new system that they have online. So we're going to get into it a little bit. So the first story I'm going to bring you is from the biometricupdate.com website. And this story came out on September the 12th, 2023. It says interoperable digital public infrastructure can speed up Africa's economic integration and prosperity. So it says Premly CEO pitches integration, Flutterwave launches Forex platform. So, we've been talking about how they've been implementing all these different digitalization platforms, the internet, getting everybody to get digital IDs and digital wallets for the coming Beast infrastructure. And so a lot of things, the reason that I pay attention to this is because a lot of things are happening in other places. They're not actually happening here yet because Americans are going to cut up. So they have to get this infrastructure together in places, and notice that they tie these things to money so that people will be like, oh yeah, we're going to get something. We'll get paid faster. We'll get money, because people are poor. People are struggling and things are only going to get worse. Excuse me. So let me read you the story. So it says intra-African commerce is being held back by a lack of interoperability. You remember I told you about this word. That's a catchword. It's a fancy word that the government likes to use that basically means, linkages to everything. Everybody shares stuff and it's always supposed to be for our benefit. So it says, held back by a lack of interoperability in digital identity systems and know your customer checks. This is the assessment of Lan Ogunjbi, co-founder and chief executive officer of biometric identity verification company Premly, in an opinion piece published by Harvard Business Review. The building the interoperable digital public infrastructure, that's going to be called DPI, expanding useful partnerships with the private sector and investing energy and internet infrastructure. So there we go. I just told you about the internet. Can be a veritable recipe for Africa's digital and economic integration and shared prosperity, he argues. So this ties into the common good. They love to say, oh, Africa is so poor. Yeah, Africa has the most resources on earth, but it's only poor because the people who want to reconquer it for this last, world order need to be able to control all the people, especially the poor people. So they're going to lure people with this economic opportunity rift. So it says, according to Ogunbi, digital integration, which he refers to as created shared systems and standard rules for digitalization across Africa, will not only trigger economic growth in Africa, but will also lead to regional integration and even stronger global influence. He notes that digital integration in practice would include the harmonization of digital financial systems, consistent continent-wide laws for digital activities, and shared regulatory technology like identity verification, digital taxation, and business registration systems. So, again, once all these things are live, they're going to tax you before you even get paid. Um, Everything is going to be digital. Everything is going to be tied into one global system. And they're putting these systems on every continent. And once they're built, making sure everybody's got internet, making sure everybody has some type of device to get money to participate in the economies, then, they'll have the world order that they want. As the Primly CEO notes, a digitally integrated Africa will improve trade efficiency and market access, benefiting small businesses in particular. And this is how they're gonna. This is like so sinister, but they always use the poorest people. Even with these universal basic income tests, all these things, they always go to the poorest people, people who can't fight back, people who are desperate, and use them. And then once it's instituted, then they can say, oh, we got, a critical mass of people who use this, and so we can roll it out globally. So it says, Primly CEO notes, a digitally integrated Africa will improve trade efficiency and market access. Right there. So another point highlighted by Ogunbi is the important role which private sector companies that have established strong presence across national borders can play in driving the digital integration agenda. Notice they say it's an agenda. Fostering digital integration requires collaborations between these private players, governments, and regional bodies, he writes, citing the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System as a good example of how such partnership can work. PAPS is a payments system launched early last year and powered by some of the biggest commercial banks on the continent. In the case of digital identity, this is what you need to pay attention to. Ogunbi argues that interoperable ID systems across the continent would allow for continent-wide know your customer systems, enabling access to financial services anywhere in Africa and thus making intra-African commerce easier. So why do they need this now, you ask? Who knows? He concludes that the inherent difficulties notwithstanding, governments that recognize the importance of digital integration can work towards it. So then it says Flutterwave introduces foreign exchange platform with selfie biometrics. Getting access to foreign currency is another challenge to Africa's economic integration. Nigerian fintech giant Flutterwave has launched a digital solution called Swap in a bid to clear some of the challenges facing access to foreign exchange and liquidity in Nigeria. The platform, launched recently with the endorsement of the Central Bank of Nigeria, will be operated in collaboration with the Bureau de Change and a commercial bank. It will allow access to the US dollar, euro, and British pound for now, reports Tech Cabal. Oh, that even sounds terrible. The swap product requires identity verification via the user's biometric bank information number. A selfie for face biometrics, matching, and other documentation. So again, you see this digital ID is always tied to money, tied to banking. We understand that FX access challenges individuals and businesses face. Swap is our answer to those pain points, providing a seamless and efficient platform for currency exchange, said the Flutterware CEO. It says the publication also quotes the acting governor of CBN, Fulashodan Shonubi, as saying that the digital solution would address two major problems, one of which is the overdependence on cash. That doesn't even make any sense. Why do you care if we overdepend on cash? They don't want you to have money. They don't want you to have control of anything. They just want you to be caught up in the system on the digital plantation. You can't buy or sell without their mark. Keep that in mind. Okay, so the next story I'm going to bring you is about G20. So the G20, let me go back up to the top. So it says the G20 declaration, significance of digital public infrastructure explained. So this story came out on September the 9th, 2023. So notice that everybody's on code when they're talking about this agenda, and it's very aggressive, it's moving very fast, so you have to pay attention to it because it's coming to America. I don't know when, but we know it's coming, so you just got to be ready. So this says the G20 declaration has welcomed the G20 framework of systems of digital public infrastructure, recognizing the role of DPI in the delivery of services at a societal scale and underline the commitment to work together to promote cooperation on international governance for artificial intelligence. Union Minister Rajiv Chandrasekhar described the declaration as a tremendous achievement. So this means all the G20 nations are going to be participating in this digital public infrastructure, which they've already been doing anyway. That's why I've been telling you about it. But the fact that they are discussing it publicly now, to me, signifies that they are ready to launch it. And I told you they already said they had to be aggressive about this agenda. So there's that. So it says India's hashtag G20 presidency is going to leave an indelible impression on the world as we move forward, Chandrasekhar, Minister of State for IT and Electronics, said in a post on X, formerly Twitter. G20 leaders on Saturday stressed promoting international cooperation, there's your world government, and further discussions on international governance for AI and call for a safe, secure, trusted, accountable, and inclusive digital public infrastructure, DPI, for service delivery and innovation. Recognizing the role of the DPI in the delivery of services, the G20 New Delhi leaders declaration backed the G20 framework of systems of digital public infrastructure, which is a voluntary, listen now, they say a voluntary and suggested framework for the development and deployment and governance of DPI. And so they're talking about governance. And so that's what you need to take away. They say it's voluntary. They always say stuff is voluntary till it's not. The G20 declaration asserted that safe, secure, trusted, accountable, and inclusive DPI respectful of human rights. It's already disrespectful because we don't want it, but they don't care. Personal data, privacy, and intellectual property rights can foster resilience and enable service delivery and innovation. The New Delhi Declaration is seen as a significant victory for India's G20 presidency. Its adoption highlighted that members have successfully clinched a consensus amid increasing tensions and divergent views over the Ukhi conflict. The G20 declaration draws attention to building safety, security, resilience, and trust in the digital economy. To this end, we welcome the G20 framework for systems of DPI, a voluntary and suggested framework for the development, deployment, and governance of DPI, it said. The declaration talks of building safety, security, resilience, so they keep saying this foolishness. To unlock the full potential of AI, equitably share its benefits and mitigate risk, we will work together to promote international cooperation and further discussions on international governance of AI. So there in this one paragraph, they're talking about global governance, one to one, everything. Everybody's trying to get on one chord. Everybody's doing their part in their nations to meet these agenda goals and objectives. So you got to pay attention to this. It said further, it takes note of the Indian presidency's proposal of the One Future Alliance. There's the One Unified, a voluntary initiative aimed at building capacity and providing technical assistance, adequate funding support for implementing DPI, LMICs, low and middle income countries. So that's where they want to start this crap at first. So it says, in our voluntary efforts to make digital public infrastructure interoperable, we recognize the importance of data free flow with trust and cross-border data flows while respecting applicable legal frameworks. We also reaffirm the role of data for development, it said. So what happens if the people don't want their data shared across these borders? Nothing, just nothing. So it says, put simply, DPI refers to blocks or platforms such as digital identification, payment infrastructure, and data exchange solutions that help countries deliver essential services to their people. Like this don't even make no sense. Why everybody in the world gotta be concerned about what you do in your country for your people? Because there's not gonna be a country, there won't be any borders. It's gonna be one world. So it says a case in point is the India Stack, the identity system, Aadhaar, payment platform UPI, and others, all of which have been receiving ringing praises globally. Ain't nobody praising that but the people who trying to enslave everybody. DPIs are interoperable, open, and inclusive systems supported by technology and provide essential society-wide public and private services that play a critical role in accelerating the digital transformation in an inclusive manner. So you see, they're trying to accelerate the digital transformation. And everybody's in on it except for us. Nobody's asking us jack. So it says the declaration has also emphasized building safety, security, resilience. I am so sick of them saying this. I just tell you what. So it says we will share our approaches and good practices to build a safe, secure, and resilient digital economy. To this extent, we welcome the non-binding G20 high-level principles to support businesses in building safety, security, resilience, and trust in the digital economy. Welcome the G20 Toolkit on Cyber Education and Cyber Awareness of Youth and Children. It said, notice they got to drag the children in it. It says it reaffirmed a commitment to G20 AI principles from 2019. and endeavor to share information on approaches to using AI to support solutions in the digital economy. It says we will pursue a pro-innovation regulatory governance approach that maximizes the benefits and takes into account the risks associated with the use of AI. It also pledged to promote responsible AI for achieving SDGs. So SDGs are Sustainable Development Goals, which come from the U and the N. Sorry, I got talking code. On harnessing AI responsibly for good and for all, that's fancy talk for the common good. And we talked about the common good agenda. The declaration said the rapid progress of AI promises prosperity and expansion of the global digital economy. Prosperity for who? Because if you don't take it, you can't prosper. If you don't use it, if you don't sign up for it, you can't work, you can't eat, you can't buy, you can't sell. It is our endeavor to leverage AI for the public good, there you go, by solving challenges in a responsible, inclusive, and human-centric manner while protecting people's rights and safety. We don't want this, so they're not protecting our rights. So, anywho. So let me go to this last part. It says, thus, to support this, we commit to promote responsible, sustainable, and inclusive use of digital technology by farmers and an ecosystem of agri-tech startups and MSMEs. So y'all know who's behind the agri-tech startups. The computer guy who knows all things. Welcome to the establishment of the Global Initiative on Digital Health, GIDH, within a organization that makes the OWL sound managed framework to build a comprehensive digital health ecosystem in compliance with respective data protection regulations, it said. It is also committed to leveraging digital technologies for the protection and promotion of culture and cultural heritage, and adopting digital frameworks for developing the development of cultural and creative sectors and industries. So, they always use these things that people care about and that they are passionate about when they want to do something. So you can't be all caught up in this. This is a bunch of flowery language for poopy doops. All right, the last article that I'm going to bring you on this subject is from the computer guy who knows all things, his foundation. So this is from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and it's about DPI. So it says DPI, Digital Public Infrastructure. Oh, let me see. It's not moving. Okay. So it says when the cough accelerated digital transformation globally, it highlighted the difference between strong and weak digital infrastructure. Countries have a narrow window to ensure they have digital networks that safely and efficiently deliver economic opportunities and social services, your universal basic income and your bug patties, to all residents. This is digital public infrastructure. So this is DPI. It says DPI is like roads. Digital public infrastructure, or DPI, is similar to roads, which form physical networks essential for people to connect with each other and access a huge range of goods and services. They're trying to sell it like it's something good. These goods and services are vital in creating economic opportunity across many sectors, including finance, health, and agriculture. So the majority of people are going to be poor. So this only benefits the powers that be, corporations and businesses that are part of this agenda to enslave us. So it says roadblocks. But what happens when people don't have access to these goods and services? It results in limited inclusion, particularly affecting women and the poor people. It restricts choice in the range of goods and services available to access them, and it poses cybersecurity and regulatory safety concerns. So notice that everything is about goods and services. They want you to buy stuff and access those free services, and it's always tied to consumption or money or things that people will need. Addressing these challenges is crucial to promote equal opportunities, diverse access to goods and services, and a safer digital environment for all. It's just so stupid. Oh my gosh, stuff is so stupid. When countries implement DPI, similarly, the elements of DPI, digital ID, listen to what the elements are: digital ID, payments, and data exchange form a cohesive digital network that enables countries to safely and efficiently open economic opportunities and deliver social services to its residents. This is the beast infrastructure. This is the mark of the beast, people. It's here. People have access to the goods and services they need to live healthy, productive lives, making the country stronger and more resilient. They save time and money while having the freedom to make choices. No, we don't have no freedom to make no choices, people, to meet the unique needs of themselves and their families. Lies. Just lies. All they do is lie to us. So look, the benefits of DPI. So notice they always using these brown people first and black people. Don't ever start off with the white people. I wonder why. Digital IDs are effective tool against poverty. A global solution is making them available to millions. So they have stories here. I'm not going to read all this stuff, but what I want to show you is this is the DPI initiatives that the computer guy who knows all things supports. And this is important because I tell y'all need to follow the money. You always follow the money. So it says we partner with technical assistance programs. And you remember the other article was talking about technical assistance programs. So this lets you know who's doing what. So this says such as Africa NINDA and the World Bank's ID4D initiative, so countries can underpin their DPI with appropriate regulations and safeguards. So here they have the World Bank, Africa NINDA, Mojaloop Foundation, MOSIP is the Modular Open Source Identity Platform, co-develop Digital Public Goods Alliance, and the Digital Impact Alliance. So if you go there, I'm sure they have connections. I'll just say that. So they have that case for investing in digital infrastructure here. I'm going to put links to all these stories. If you have a chance, I really suggest that you read this stuff because this is basically the actual mark of the beast system that they are formally telling you about. So, I was bringing you a piece here, a piece there. Now they are already putting everything in place for you. And so, well, I don't have to convince you because now they're telling you. So, anyway, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you share it with other people because this system is about to go online. All these different chaotic events, all these tests and all this stuff that they're doing, it is going to lead to this system, old system going down, and the new system that will come up will be this digital public infrastructure, better known as the beast infrastructure. So keep prepping, keep praying, keep seeking the Most High. Continue to pray for sins of commission and sins of omission. I don't know how far we're going to have to go into this thing and what is it going to take. They keep saying it's voluntary, but we all know it is not going to be voluntary. So just keep your eyes open, people. Keep your eyes open because the adversary is busy and they are moving fast. He's moving fast because he understands his time is short and people are waking up. And I'm thankful for that, but it's also a dangerous time for all of us. So, links will be in the description. Again, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified every time I upload new content. Follow me on Rumble and Odyssey in the event that this channel is taken down. A lot of people who are telling present truth are being challenged. And so, in order for us to stay on top of what's going on, you gotta follow me on these other channels because I don't know how long I'll be on YouTube. I got one strike, could get another one at any time. So just make sure you follow me. Keep watch, people. Please make sure you read these articles so that you can understand what this system is going to look like because it's being instituted everywhere else. But when it comes to America, it's going to be forced on us. Just because we have a democracy and folks don't really understand that things are falling apart right now. So, all right, y'all. This is Marley K, and I am out.